All right, everybody. I am sitting here today with Keith Wineinger with the Burn Shop in Wichita Falls. Keith is doing some really awesome stuff with some laser CNC cutting. I'm doing lots of awesome signs, some incredible grill grates, custom logos, anything you can think of just about he's being able to put into this metal design. And he is our first audio interview, which we're pretty excited about, which was actually his idea, which we were really excited about. So we're going to go through a few questions and kind of see where the conversation leads us and see if we can make this happen. So we'll get this kicked off with Keith. Can you introduce yourself, where you're based out of, what your business is, and
Sure.
what your craft is?
Absolutely. My name is Keith Wineinger. I'm the owner and founder of the Burn Shop. We specialize in turning your ideas, our customers' ideas, into metal reality. So somebody will come to me and say, hey, I want a giant S, or whatever it may be. Our goal is to make that giant S as absolutely cool as possible and give everybody an awesome customer service experience from the moment that they first make contact with us.
Right, nice. How long have you been making, and not necessarily this, but as using your hands to like make or craft or create? Is it something you've always done, or is it something you just kind of stumbled into and you kind of ran with it?
Yeah, so after college, I worked for the Boeing company in Oklahoma City, went to OU, and stayed in Norman for about 8 years. Had our first kid, and that was about the time we decided, you know what, maybe we ought to move a little closer to home, or back home. So moved back home, began working with my father in the oil business, and really that's what predicated everything. So price of oil was great, life was awesome, not having to work 40 hours a week even. I mean, it was awesome. So I would make fire pits or smokers or all kinds of stuff just with metal out of my garage. And then the price of oil fell. And then it's kind of that what do you do moment. Not working full time. I'm no longer meeting the financial needs of my family. What do we do? Yeah. So I told my wife, I said, hey, I need a large sum of money because I'm going to go off and I'm going to buy a 5-foot by 10-foot CNC plasma table, and I'm going to just start cutting out cool stuff that people will want. And this was a hard sell.
You took the leap, yeah.
This was a hard sell.
I know those conversations.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a tool.
I'm going to buy a tool. I'm going to buy like a $30,000 tool. And so somehow I convinced my wife to let me do this. And man, the rest is really history. Surrounded ourselves with some great people. And we've seen nothing but growth and success so far.
That's great. I love to hear that. So you're obviously full-time in this. Is there anyone you can think of that's been kind of a mentor or an inspiration, or has been like a big influence on your work, or maybe not necessarily how you build something, just anybody that's been a big player that's kind of either helped you along the way, or someone you can go to say, man, I'm trying to figure this one thing out, I'm not going to keep getting hung up.
Yeah, so I'm not a perfect welder by any stretch of the imagination. I can make two things stick together. I can. I've gotten better over the years. But the one person that I always call on if I have an issue with, what do I need to weld aluminum? Or what do I need to have to, how thick does this material need to be to make this work? Larry Carroll. Larry he's my age. We've got kids that are the same age. and he is probably the best welder that I've ever met in my life, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. So we actually started this business together in the beginning with the idea that we were going to have a partnership. Larry was just too busy to make it work, so I took over within about 90 days. Took over all of it and assumed all the debt and took the leap on my own. But no hard feelings with Larry.
That's good.
Super awesome dude. If I've got to have something that has got to be like professionally welded and it's got to look good and know that it's done right, Larry's my guy, no question.
That's awesome. And local, that's something
Also local, yes.
I've been talking a lot about in some of our previous blog series is community. It doesn't necessarily have to be, it's not a physical community always. The people that you surround yourself with in your craft, in your life, in your family, the people that you can call on, kind of your ace and hole. So
Oh, absolutely.
I really harp on the community thing because it really is such a big deal in really any aspect of life.
Yeah, I mean, just knowing, like, I don't know when I'm going to need to know a guy that can make awesome leather work, but it's going to happen one of these days. It's going to happen. I'm going to come across a project, or I'm going to want or need something down the road, and I know that guy now. Jesse is that guy.
We love the community.
So, I mean, just meeting new people and finding out what they can do and what they do well, I mean, you're just broadening your own horizons.
Absolutely.
So,
the next one we've got here is kind of a silly one. You get it in any kind of interview, but if you could go back to when you first started, what single piece of advice would you give yourself?
Oh, man. What single piece of advice would I give myself?
And that could
That's
be,
a tough one. That really is a tough one.
That could be how to keep your books, how to set your machine
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many aspects that
Oh, absolutely.
it's so easy. I found that, and I fall into this cycle sometimes too. You get online with Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is, and I love following all these other people that are in the similar field that I am.
Yeah.
It helps inspire you, and then sometimes you seem like you're taking a couple steps forward or a couple steps back, and it seems like you can really get down on yourself. But when you're looking at these images all the time of this pristine photograph that's set up,
Oh, yeah.
when you don't see the background, I feel like it's really easy for people wanting to start something. They get really scared because they're not seeing what's behind the camera.
Right.
Like when they finished that picture, they had to go sit at the computer for 3 hours, like doing their books and paying their bills and
Yeah. Just like everybody else.
having dinner with their kids and all those things. And so your piece of advice, it doesn't have to be, I wish someone would have told me how to do the settings of my X and Y axis when
Right. No, I mean, all of that
and
was.
it is a really broad question. Too.
Oh, I
There's so
completely
many
agree.
things.
No, all of that was, I mean, you get all the manuals and everything. I knew nothing about CNC plasma cutting when I bought this table. I didn't know. I knew I was going to cut stuff out of metal and I was going to make it look cool. I mean, I felt like I was creative enough and I was good enough working with my hands that I was going to make it work come hell or high water. I was going to figure. Well, I had to.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't buy this stuff just for it to be a toy. I mean, I bought it with the intent that it was going to help to supplement my income and I was going to be able to make a living doing it. So, yeah, the one piece of advice is I'd probably just go back and just tell myself, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay. I mean,
One step at a time.
One step at a time. It's okay. You're gonna get there.
That's so important too, because it's so easy to try to put the horse in front of the cart.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And in a year, this is probably not going to be big enough for you. And
Yeah,
I'm sure,
that'd be a
I'm
great
sure you've
problem to
already
have.
Got your holy grail of tools out there that you've wanted yet, but when you look at it, you think, I just want it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got a laundry list of tools
so,
out there that that I'd like to add to my repertoire, so to speak. Do I absolutely have to have any of them? No, not at this point.
Right.
And as you can see, you guys listening, can't see where we're at right now. But we're sitting in the back end of my father's shop. I've been afforded the luxury to be able to work out of my father's shop. He's given me the back end. I've got 20 feet by 40 feet. It might not seem small, but you start working on a big project, you start working on an 8-foot by 15-foot sign like the Highlander, it becomes small in a hurry. In a hurry. Anytime you're doing a big sign and you've got it laid out on the floor over there, you lose all room. So one of these days we've got dreams of having a great big giant shop, and it's going to happen.
But going back to that one step at a time.
Absolutely.
It's so.
Absolutely.
You got to remind yourself of that. You know, I do. I know I do.
Yeah.
We had the Boot and Saddle show this last weekend, which is it's a vendor show for makers. So it's all the big leather tool makers, machinery, the leather vendors from all over the U.S. It's one of 3 big trade shows like that in the U.S. And it's real easy to go in there and say, "Oh, I really would like to have that tool," or "I would like this machine." And you know, one step at a time. We're like,
absolutely.
I plan to get there.
Oh yeah, you will.
It's just
you will.
That taking your time, and I think that's a great piece of advice. As we continue on the thread of advice, what would you want to tell someone who's wanting to take a leap into becoming a maker or just starting out?
I would say, don't be afraid. For me, the biggest catalyst for me, as far as helping me to decide that it's time to make that jump, is my family's financial stability was on the line. So it was
a little nudge.
It was more than a little nudge. It was done out of necessity. So to me, like, almost feeling like you have to do it was what helped me. I don't wish that upon anybody, that to where they are in a position where they feel like they've got to do something. But sometimes, like, having to do something that's the kick in the butt that you need. Don't be afraid. Get out there, and don't be afraid to start small. If you've got an idea or if you've got a craft and you're good at it, I guarantee you there's people out there that are gonna want what you've got.
Oh yeah.
So
I look back at some of the first things I made and sold, and I just about puke.
Oh, absolutely.
Who
Same with me.
Mind gave me money for this.
I completely agree. Like, holy cow, did I really cut that out? Yes, I did. And yes, I did accept payment for it. Could I have done better today? Yeah. But
that kind of follows up, too, with, like I was saying earlier, when it's easy to get real intimidated when you see what's all out there.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, you have to see what's behind the scenes. You find your favorite person making whatever you want to do. You know, the person you think that's the best. If they have Instagram or Facebook, start scrolling as far as you can scroll to the bottom, and look at when they started and started posting.
Oh,
stuff.
absolutely.
I mean, you can see the I mean, in my work, even the progression quarterly almost. You go back 3 or 4 years. Oh my gosh! If I was smart, I would get rid of those pictures. But so no one would know the truth. But you're right. You know, take your time and take the leap. You can't be afraid to do it.
Absolutely. We've only done Instagram for maybe a little over a year, so we don't have just a huge library of stuff to go back on. But one thing that I do is, if it's not something that I want to make in the future, I'm not going to post a picture of it, because Lord knows that's going to be the one thing that everybody comes back and says, "Hey, will you make this for me?" No, that's not what I want to make. So, just be selective about the images that you put on your social media for sure.
Yeah. And can you think of an aspect of your work, or the actual making part of the business end of it, that you have or you do kind of struggle with now? You know, be it time management or the same thing, going back to the behind the scenes, paperwork or
Time management can be tough. The other thing that can be tough is just bidding projects out.
yeah.
Somebody calls and says, "Hey, I want a 10-foot sign." Knowing up front that this sign is going to take you 20 hours and you're going to spend this much money on it at powder coat, and knowing all of those things can be a trick.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I've had to learn to let it evolve on its own a little bit and kind of just give my customers a bit of a ballpark. Like, I'm going to make this sign for you and it's going to be around X.
Yeah, sure.
So, when it comes back and it's less than X, then
They're real happy.
they're always happy. And I always try and shoot high.
Yeah.
Always try and shoot high. So I'd rather shoot high and come back and tell them that it's going to be cheaper than shoot low and
Have somebody upset.
come back and be like, well, I'm going to need
20
another.
sign sitting out there that's not getting used.
Exactly. I don't need somebody else's sign
Yeah, in your shop.
advertising my property.
No kidding. Besides what you're doing here with the signs and the cutting table, what are some other hobbies? Do you have any hobbies or interests?
Yeah,
you're a sports
absolutely.
Guy, a hunting, fishing guy.
I'm really big into college football. Love college football. Before the season starts, I'm so itching for it that I would watch Popcorn State versus Powder Puff University just to get to watch college football. Obviously, I went to school at OU, so they're my team.
Last weekend was a big weekend.
It was. I'm still rubbing the wounds.
Yeah.
Still rubbing the wounds. My other big hobby is cooking, mainly outdoor cooking. So that's how the grill grates evolved.
Yeah.
I made a grill grate for my own Weber kettle, and my wife posted a picture of it on social media.
I want one.
And
I want one. Yeah.
holy crap, we were onto something.
That's awesome.
Like, everybody
And
wanted one.
It's so crazy how those things can evolve.
You never know what it's going to be.
And
I wouldn't have guessed in the beginning that was going to be, that we were going to be making 20 of these things a week and shipping them to South Africa and South Korea and Australia and Canada and the UK and Ireland.
everybody's gonna eat.
Everybody's got to eat.
Everybody's gotta eat.
Almost everybody's got an outdoor grill. I think
Yeah.
that there's been studies that show that like 75% of U.S. households have an outdoor grill. So you
pretty
want
good market.
that's not a bad little market to be in.
Not at all.
And I think the average spender buys like 3 accessories for their grill. So why can't the Burn Shop be
One of those.
one of those accessories?
That is a great way to look at it. It really is. Market research, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
So when I started, what I do 6 years ago, you could get online and you could search and Google, and there just wasn't a whole lot of information out there. And I don't know if for what you're doing, and I'm sure there is. I mean, YouTube has everything now, but when I started then, there were just a handful of videos and stuff. And if you want to make anything now, you get on YouTube and you can figure out how to do it, or at least
That's true. Yeah.
kind of bring your bearings in to figure out at least where you need to start. And that's kind of, it seems like in the past 5 or 10 years, there's been a sort of a maker movement that's been coming, like a renaissance of people wanting to start making things and using their hands and get their hands dirty and do something they can be proud of. Is that something that you can have noticed in your field? So you've been at this for
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Warming up on 3.
So maybe you hadn't been in it quite long enough to really see a lot of that, but have you seen anything like that, or anything else that you've
It's
noticed?
funny you mentioned that. Within probably the last month, we got at the city of Wichita Falls is now actually working on we're at in the infancy stages of creating a makerspace.
Yeah, I talked to Travis Haggard about that.
Yes, he's
came
on
over-
the committee and with me.
Yeah, he came over to the house a while back. I was curious. He's in our life group at church, and we got to talking about it. He was asking me my thoughts on that, and I think think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
I know they're popping up all over the place, and
they're just cool places to go to.
Great.
I mean, just to have a place where somebody, let's just say they don't even have an idea, they just want to go in and tinker.
Yeah, and
just to be able to be around some of this
like a
cool equipment.
Center.
Yeah.
Again, this community thing keeps coming up. When you get something like that started, it's going to create such a big community of already established makers and creators. But it's going to really garner a lot of interest, I think, and I think it is awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
And I mean that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
The cool byproduct from it all, from an economic standpoint, is you're funneling all these people down into a funnel with the hopes of somebody's going to come in with an idea and be like, hey, I've got this idea. I want to make this. Right. I think it's going to be great. You give them the tools to be able to make it, at least come up with some prototypes, and by golly, it's something that's going to take off. Then you've got something else in Wichita Falls that this maker hub helped to create and help this person that otherwise wouldn't have been able to.
And then it's just not a local thing either. You know, you get people active in that, and then it creates a networking between other like.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just in this community, even in the Texoma area. I feel like that would bring people in from all over the area. But you know, you get in contact with a group out of Dallas or the Metroplex.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Oklahoma
for
City,
sure.
Something like that. You're just growing that community of makers, and you're networking and professional relationships and things like that.
Absolutely.
Only good could come from something.
Absolutely. I mean, you can look at it like with me, for example, just coming into contact with other people that do plasma cutting work. You know, if I get too busy with a project, I could potentially outsource to them.
Yeah,
or you can look at it from another aspect, like metalwork mixed with leather work, or woodwork.
Yeah, a lot of that crossover in a lot of woodwork going on right now. I've seen a lot of that, and it's getting real trendy and really cool. But yeah, there's so many crossovers and all those things, and it's
so just to be able to have that network of people and getting, like you said, like-minded individuals together is it's a cool idea. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes of it.
I mean, I'm in a small space, but I have a very, I guess, efficient, dedicated space for my workspace. But I also have a bar. Like I have a shop the size that most people have in their back, like a little shed.
Yeah.
Shop or something,
Yeah.
You know? But for someone, I've got a buddy doing some leather work. His workshop's the kitchen table. You know, when I started trying to do silversmithing stuff, I was starting on the kitchen table before I had a dedicated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuff. So when you open, and that can really be disheartening to someone if they want to try something, and it can get really frustrating when you don't have the proper tools and not
or
just
enough
tools,
room to spread out.
Full infrastructure. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To get the work done, so I feel like it's real easy for a lot of people to give up really quick.
It can be.
They think that they're going to have to go all in and spend all this money to be able to just make something, even if it's just a hobby.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where that goes. So this is the last official question, and I'm borrowing this from a podcast I've been listening to recently, and it is there any new cultural or trending thing that that you become interested in at the moment, not necessarily associated with your craft? For example, like a book that you just read, or a new restaurant, or a new movie, or a podcast, a blog, music, anything like that you want to share with people that you think people would like to know about?
Let me think about that one. That is a good question.
Yeah, I didn't come up with it, so I can't.
Yep, that's a good question. That's one that I didn't prepare for sure. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't prepare for any of this.
That's quite all right.
But I've got the gift of gab, so usually I'm pretty good at coming up with stuff off the cuff and being able to fill the airwaves, so to speak. So,
That's good.
my wife is a huge foodie. I am too. I like good food. One of the cool things that we did, would be more of something for the Metroplex, I would say, is we ran into this guy on Instagram that sells Wagyu beef. And again, we're huge into outdoor cooking, so
Nice.
having that. So we cut him a grill grate and then met up with him in Dallas, and he hooked us up with a big ice chest full of Wagyu beef. And we've just been continuing to eat off of it, and let me tell you, like,
Oh, that's incredible.
going back to just
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be so hard.
prime ribeye is, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie. Wagyu it's good, dude.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm scared. I'm scared to even try. Because I'd be in the same space. Jamie would be wanting to know why we're having to rent a one-room
Well,
apartment
like,
to live in.
what's funny and what nobody really wants to admit, it's like when they're eating a steak and they've kind of got like that juicy little chunk of fat that's kind of been caramelized and maybe even kind of burnt just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's really their favorite part.
It's the ribeye, man. It's the ribeye.
Yeah.
That's why ribeye is so good. It's so good fatty on it.
So when you can get kind of that mixed in with the meat on every single bite you take,
Oh yeah.
it's like what?
It looks like palm wood that's been sliced. Have you ever seen palm wood?
No.
So it's like it's just got those shoots of a darker color wood throughout it.
Yeah.
So it's what the Wagyu looks like. It's just got all those little shoots of fat.
Yeah, to me it
so
almost
pretty.
looks like, I don't know why I come up with this analogy, but it almost kind of always just looks like it's just so intermingled with fat that it's just goodness. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. It really is. So Wagyu beef has kind of been a very new, trendy, I would say. I'd say it's trendy at this point, but I feel like it's going to catch on. I mean, you see more farms popping up all the time that they're raising Wagyu cattle, and then you've got Wagyu Angus, and then, I mean, people are crossbreeding with other stuff, and they're making some pretty dang amazing stuff out there, and it is cool. So we're super keyed into like the barbecue community.
Oh, yeah.
So we're always meeting new and cool people, like just through the barbecue community.
Wagyu brisket meat.
They're good.
Yeah.
Done it. Been there, done that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What's crazy is you eat Wagyu brisket, and it's like so buttery soft. Like, have you ever eaten like shrimp scampi, and when you eat the shrimp scampi, like your lips almost feel like you've got like an extra coating of chapstick on them?
Or like when you eat French fries from Chicken Express and take a drink of cold tea. Yeah,
Yes.
You get like the coating.
So, yeah, you eat Wagyu brisket, and like your lips just feel like you've put fresh chapstick, but like the most oily, liquidy chapstick out there. It feels like what's on your lips, and I mean, it's good. It's good. It's really good. So we love cooking. I mean, we cook outdoors on the grills a couple of days a week. I've got more grills than I need. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I've got some that I've made. I've got a big green egg. I've got 3 Weber kettles.
You're serious.
Both of my little girls have Weber kettles of their own. What else? We've got some drums. I've got a giant trailer smoker. I've got a little backyard smoker. I've built several smokers over the years that I've sold and then build more just because you made a buck selling it. So, yeah, we love cooking outdoors. So, yeah, one of the things that we do is we've got the Burn Shop has a competition cook team.
Right,
Yeah. So,
tell us a little bit about y'all's team.
yeah, so Burn Shop Barbecue is what we call it. This weekend, actually, we've got a catering event for the Optimist Club. We're cooking fillets and baked potatoes and salad and the whole 9 yards. We're cooking for the Optimist Club. So we're cooking for I think about 40 people. Looking forward to it. It's not something that we've ever really done, but David Cook, who's super active member, super engaged with the burn shop. He's kind of our go-to guy for help with marketing or project management and stuff like that. Just extremely intelligent guy. He spearheads all the catering stuff, and really, to be honest, he spearheads all of the competition barbecue stuff because he'll find that next cool event and be like, "Hey guys, we need to go to this one." And we're like, "Okay, sounds cool."
It seems like there's been like a real kind of renaissance in that too. You know, barbecue's always been a thing, right?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
It seems like you're seeing all these new competitions or cook-offs are popping up all over the place.
Oh yeah, every place has got a cook-off.
Yeah.
So Wichita Falls probably has 3 or 4 throughout the year. They've got one this weekend actually that we're not going to because of the catering deal. But Friday night we're gonna go and cook a steak because Friday night they always have like a steak cook-off. So we'll go up there with our Weber and we'll cook a steak and try and win a few dollars and probably knock a few beers back and have a good time. And if we don't win, we don't win.
Meat, beer, friends, outside, fall weather finally.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
does
been
it
nice
get
in
any
here.
better?
Yeah, it's been nice in here, I bet.
Does it get any better?
I don't think it does.
So yeah, I mean, we like it. And then there's a big event at the end of the month. It's the Wichita Falls Fire Department and the Police Department do a cook-off together, and it's called Guns and Hoses.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
they,
I saw the one song.
yes, so we've made the
I've
trophies
seen
for
some
them
of
for the
the
last
trophies
3
in
years.
town,
It's the last 3 years it's been at P2,
Yeah,
which is
that
just an
may or may not be where I
awesome
frequent often
venue.
and see
Awesome
it.
venue. Love that venue. So like they'll block off the parking lot, bring in a bunch of cookers. The entire P2 parking lot plus the parking lot across the street will just be covered with competition cookers.
When is that?
That one is October 26th and
So that's
27th.
coming pretty soon, yeah.
Yes, so the trophies are at Powder Coat. Just waiting to get them back. They're cool again this year.
That's awesome.
I do something different every year. I'm excited about them. Nobody's seen them.
Oh,
So,
even better. The
um,
exclusivity. Oh,
I know. I
great.
love it.
That's awesome. Great.
That's got to be one of like my guilty pleasures with my work is when somebody calls and says, "Hey Keith," they kind of just give me general guidelines and then say, "Okay, now you just go make it cool. You just do your thing."
You like that?
Oh, I love it.
See,
I love it.
I'm always on the fence about it because, especially like with some of the leather stuff, the tooling styles, and I used to do a lot of guitar straps,
Yeah.
and that's a pretty good canvas to work on. And these guys, someone or gals will say, I want a guitar strap. These are the measurements. This is kind of what I want. I trust you, and it's super flattering, right?
But at the same time,
it drives me crazy because there are so many different styles.
oh, absolutely.
What if they don't like the style that I like?
Yeah.
So I'm always really on the fence whenever
I
get those
always like
inquiries.
try and get maybe a few more details than that from my customer.
Yeah.
But
And that's what I tell them. I have to tell them, now listen, you may not like what I like. You may have skulls and crossbones in mind, and I have these pretty flowers. And
you might not have flowers though.
similar.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it when somebody's like, "Hey, I need a new logo. Can you design up a logo for me?
That's awesome.
Or can you make me a monogram with my initials and just make it cool? I trust you. I need it about yay by yay. Just make it cool. Yeah, I love it. Love it. I even love it more when they're like, "Yeah, I don't even want to see the design. Just cut it, do it, surprise me."
That's great.
I mean, I used to when I first started doing these grill grates, and I still do it most of the time. So I'll send somebody their design and get their approval with the design, but I almost never send them a picture of it after it's cut out.
Finished out.
Never. So the first time that they see it is when they get it in the mail and unbox it, and they're like,
Christmas morning.
that is my design. That was exactly what I thought, and the burn shop nailed it and made it look awesome, and there it is, right in my lap. So I try to never send pictures before, or they get the design picture, they approve the design, but then I never send like a completed picture.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just always like when 4 or 5 days later somebody messages you back and says, hey, I got this in the mail, and it is awesome. I love this.
I'm guilty of that too. I get super flattered, and I always have to try to bring myself down. But you're right. Yeah, it is a guilty pleasure. One more thing we can talk about a little bit. You recently won a pretty awesome award locally. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so that was Idea WF. Idea WF is it's a cool project for entrepreneurs, people with an idea, people just getting started with their dream, so to speak. So the way the process works is it's all done through MSU. So the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, is a huge player as well, and they're at MSU. So the way it works is the beginning of the year they'll call looking for, or they're just out there looking for their candidates, so to speak. So you go to a meeting, listen to them tell you all about it and how much hard work you're going to have to put into it, and your time may be better spent actually working on your craft rather than doing Idea WF, which is a distinct possibility. If you think that you can go out and make more money without Idea WF, they're all for that. For us, it was we didn't think that we could make more money, more or less money, with Idea WF. It was just the thought of being able to better nail down exactly what you're doing and exactly where you're going and your plan on how you're going to get there. So the first step in the process was to write a 2-page executive summary. Super easy, because you are literally just you kind of do maybe a paragraph or so on just how you got started, your little bit about your backstory, and then you're diving right into the meat of the matter. I mean, what is it you're doing? How are you making money? And how are you going to continue to make money? And what is your idea for growth? From there, they narrow down to about 15, 16 candidates. Then it gets tough. Then you've got several months, but you've got to write a 20-page business plan, and that's tough. Yeah. I promise you. There's work in a 20-page business plan.
Folks that are listening, he's getting pretty thorough. I think he's trying to sell me this idea pretty hard for the Idea WF, and it's something that's kind of been on our radar in the past year or so. So he's doing a good sell. He's giving a good pitch. So if anybody else is interested in the area, it's definitely something worth looking into.
Yeah, so you don't have to have an established business. You can just have an idea. You can not have made a cent off of your idea yet, but you've got an idea and you think it's the next big thing, or a big thing even. It doesn't have to be, really and truly, it doesn't even have to be a big thing. Just a cool thing and a way to make money and a way to bring money into the economy. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for young, or not necessarily young, but new businesses, entrepreneurs that have got awesome ideas, and really and truly, they want to help you mold your idea into something that's workable, something that can be done. So really and truly, they're enablers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're enabling you and helping you to realize your goals. So yeah, after the 20-page business plan, it then really gets narrowed down. They narrow down to 6, and those final 6 have to do a 15-minute pitch in front of 5 or 6 judges live at MSU.
Nice.
Full-on PowerPoint presentation, examples if you've got them, full-on, let her rip. Stand up there and talk for 15 minutes about what you're passionate about. It's not hard.
Yeah.
For guys like you and I that have kind of got the gift of gab and turning a 5-minute questionnaire into over 40 minutes now.
15 minutes in, so bad.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then they announce winners. So
there are a few different categories, right?
yes. So there's a growth category, and then there's a startup category, and then there's an expansion category. Startup category is for anybody that's made less than $50,000 in revenue the previous 2 calendar years. The expansion category is anybody that's made basically $50,001 up to $250,000 in revenue the past 2 previous years. So we fell into the expansion category. We were fortunate enough to win. The startup category, the winner was Xylo Bats. At some point, you need to go out and talk to Leland.
I talked to Leland a little bit.
They're going to Celebration.
Yeah, not Leland, but his other.
Ross?
Yeah, he's in our live group.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, I've been meaning to catch him some Sunday, kind of chat with him a little bit about
Absolutely.
they're
Ross
definitely on my radar.
Ross isn't the talker.
No.
No. This whole interview process will be, if you're looking for a quick one, talk to Ross.
Okay.
He doesn't
So
have to.
Leland's my guy.
Leland is your guy. Leland is your guy. He's the one that had the dream. Ross is a good guy. I love him to death. But the gift of gab does not come to Ross very well. So
And then, so y'all won the expansion, and they come with a pretty nice prize.
yeah, so you win several things. One of the things that you win is $12,000 cold hard cash. You also get, I think, $3,000 from KAUZ and $3,000 from KFDX, which are our local news stations here in town. So you get some advertising money. You get some web development money from, I'm not going to say because I'd probably be wrong. So
A local media company.
a local web developer has got some money, some HR money to help with staffing, potentially accounting. There's some accounting money in there, and I think maybe some legal service money in there.
Those
So
are the 2 that I need help in, for sure.
yeah, absolutely, dude. And that's really where we've been fortunate. One of my best friends and cooking buddies is his name is Josh Whitaker, and we found him because my wife and his wife are both Colombian. So we hit it off immediately, and he was a CPA at the time, so he took on the burn shop, and then he quit his CPA gig and started working for WS Construction. He's a corporate controller for them, and he just took me with him. So he's kind of still got like some accounting side
Few
work,
accounts, yeah.
a few little small accounts, and the burn shop was one of them. So I don't know where I'd be without him, honestly.
That's awesome. That's a good ace to have in the hole for sure.
Exactly. So between him and David Cook, and then my wife does all the social media stuff. She's kind of a guru when it comes to social media and
And you know,
building brands. And
something I learned is, I mean, you have to be on social media.
oh yeah,
You have to.
yeah.
I mean, it's not what it was 5 years ago. It's not what it was 6 months ago. You know,
Oh, it's constantly evolving,
it's
for
just
sure.
evolving so much, and I mean, there are classes and conferences and podcasts that are nothing but talking about social media.
Yeah.
Like, there's a real science to all of it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
At face value, so many people see it as, oh, you just post pictures of your stuff. It's
We don't handle
more.
social media the same way today that we handled it a year ago.
No, absolutely not.
It's constantly evolving, and you've kind of got to stay on top of the trends.
You do.
So,
you absolutely do. And that's something else with me. The struggle for me is, so I don't do my leather work full time.
Right.
But I feel like I've got a full time job because while I'm working in the evenings, I've got my phone or my camera out, and I'm trying to stay on top of things, taking lots of pictures or video or whatever just to build the content up. So whatever I post tonight or in the morning, I may not have done that tonight.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
That may have been something I did Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's really, it seems so simple, but it's something I really struggle with, is to keep enough content relevant to my work and new stuff.
Yeah.
Because your interactions on there, because I'm using those as a exit point or.
But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to throw content up there that has nothing to do with your business too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and that's something that I try to be real big on too. Is man, I got a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
absolutely.
my work, but man, when my son Lincoln wants to come go shopping with Dad, by golly, he gets to come pick up his little hammer.
Yeah.
It may slow me down, but that's something I really want to build around what I do. It's a family-centered business. And,
absolutely. Same with the burn shop.
I want to teach him. I want to teach anybody that wants to know. I want to share what I do.
Absolutely. I always tell people I'm an open book. Like, if you have a question about anything that I do, or how did I get started, or what was my step after I did this,
sure.
I'm an open book. I am here to help. I will help anybody in any way that I can.
And what is our thing? Community.
Absolutely. It goes back to community.
You gotta be
What's crazy about that is probably my biggest competitor in the customized grate business is a company out of Georgia called East Georgia Metals. So you get on Facebook or you get on Instagram and somebody posts a picture of one of our grates, and the other, you see them all the time on social media. A picture of our grates will pop up, and they'll tag us most of the time. But or somebody will be like, "Hey, where do I get this custom grate? Where I've been seeing all these cool custom grates. Where do I get them done at?" And then somebody will say the burn shop, or somebody will say East Georgia Metals. What people don't realize is we talk.
Yeah,
I know the dude.
Yeah.
Like, I talk to him probably a couple of times a month, and cool cat. He's a cool dude. We don't have exactly the same ideas as far as how we do things, but I respect what he does, and I feel like he respects what I do, and I mean, we'll have conversations. We're always talking about, like, what's going on in the shop, and what big project are you working on now, and I'm having this trouble with my plasma cutter. Have you ever run across this?
Yeah.
So always we talk. I mean, I don't feel like it's a bad thing.
What was the percentage you said earlier of the households?
75%. Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's enough market share out there.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I was talking with a fellow, Sam, with King's Custom Leather. He's down around Austin Saturday at the show, and we got to talking about that. There's so many people that we were kind of talking about this Renaissance that's kind of popping up. It seems like there's so many more people that are wanting to get in this space now, especially like in the leather stuff, where we were kind of centered around. And he said it's great, because there's plenty of market share out there for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just, what we love to see is there's so many people wanting to make handmade, and if there's that many people out there, that's starting to say something about the consumers also. The consumers are they're starting to want to buy handmade again.
Right. None of this
Yes. Yeah.
cheap China stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's absolutely true. And like we were talking about before the interview.
Plastic leather.
Yeah, the leather. I mean, cool belt to someone, or at least it's hard to sell them often.
Yeah.
Because most people are going to look at you crazy. They just
Like,
want the
I don't want to spend.
$50.
Yeah. Or less.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I completely get it. Completely get it. Absolutely.
It's all ever changing daily. Yeah. So
Dude,
always learning something.
social media it's a beast, dude. It's a beast. So we always try and post something every day.
Yeah, every day.
I think that, I mean, I get people all the time telling me, man, every time I open up Facebook or every time I open up Instagram, first thing I see every single day is the Burn Shop.
That's good.
I'm like,
that's
dude,
where you wanna be.
that's our goal.
That's where you want to be, for sure.
That's what we're after.
But, well, I mean, that's pretty much all I got to ask you. Is there
Yeah,
anything
dude.
anything you want to add to it? Any questions? Or
No, I mean,
you want to give a shout out to or anything?
shout out to this guy. I got a shout out. Shout out to this guy that does some badass leather work. Jesse Beckham. Lost Penguin Leather. Don't know if you guys have ever heard of him or not. He's doing some pretty dang cool stuff with leather. You guys need to check him out. We need to get the Burn Shop following to follow Jesse for sure, because I guarantee you that there's a lot of people that follow me that would love to follow this dude. And
we make some
just,
beer koozies. And I've
Yeah.
heard that those go hand in hand with barbecue.
yes, they do. We make some
Get
beer
some with
koozies.
Some Burn Shop.
We put a little Burn Shop logo on there. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I knew you'd come up with it. I knew you'd figure it out.
Yeah, see, it just took us an hour hammering out the rest of the details. Well,
And watch this. Hey, you put the Burn Shop flame on there. Whatever else you do, go for it. Ad lib it. Let her rip.
now
Just
you,
like
you may not like my style, that I like, so let's talk about this a little more.
okay, no flowers, no flowers. Beyond that, let her rip.
All right. Well, man, Keith, I appreciate you letting me come out.
Absolutely,
but
anytime.
Before we did some recording, folks, Keith knocked out our logo, the Lost Penguin, on some metal that we'll be posting some pictures up on later. And we love it, and I can't wait to show that off. So thanks for having us out here at the shop. I really
Sure.
do appreciate it. Shooting the bull a little bit, and we'll have to catch up again and collaborate a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can collaborate over some cold ones next time.
Well, I was going to grab some on the way, but I needed to fill you out.
No, I
first
get
to make
that. Absolutely
decision.
get that.
So,
Absolutely get it.
So everybody, thanks for listening today, this evening, wherever you are, whenever you're listening. If you have any questions, shoot us an email. We'll have all of Keith's contact information for the Burn Shop, his social media tags, and all that added below in the description. So check him out, give him a follow, comment on some of his stuff, and order yourself a grill grate or a new sign that you've been wanting so badly.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I'm Jesse Beckham with Lost Penguin Leather, and I thank you for listening. Y'all have a good one.